Yes. Hello. Yes, you can hear me? Good evening and welcome to Warner Park in St. Kitts and Nevis. It's the 42nd anniversary of independence. This is coverage of the Independence Ceremonial Parade, produced, broadcast, and streamed by Chameleon Media in conjunction with media partners. My name is Patrick Martin, and with me this evening is
Peter Jenkins.
And Peter, we're looking at the armed units and unarmed units who have been marched on and formed up in a column of route. We're now awaiting the arrival of the security chiefs under the theme Perpetual Progress, a Sustainable Future in View, Independence 42. That's the theme of the independence celebration. There were about 250 submissions, with the winner being Dinola C. Laplace of Sandy Point. Peter, let's talk about the parade assignments this evening.
Today we have Parade Commander Captain Kentish Garnett from the Coast Guard, 2IC Captain Livingston Generalette, W Commanding Unarmed Units W2S Dorset, Parade Sergeant Major W2N Keynes, Senior NCO Markers Sergeant Mike, NCO Flagmass Party Sergeant Henderson the first, it would appear, and Private Burke D. For the Drum Corps and Band, Director of Music Lieutenant Sylvester G. Charles, Drum Major Sergeant Walter C. For the number 1 Guard, the Infantry, SKNDF, Officer Commanding Lieutenant Z. Ferdinand, Sergeant, Staff Sergeant Gomes J. Color Party, SKNDF, Bearers, Second Lieutenant J. Watson and W2D O'Day. Escort, Staff Sergeant Phipps L. and Sergeant Wilkes D. Number 2 Guard, SKNDF, Infantry, Officer Commanding, Second Lieutenant Cross, L. Sergeant Brown, D. Number 3 Guard, SKNDF Coast Guard, Officer Commanding, Lieutenant Norris Fifield, Sergeant Hutton K. 4th Guard, Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force, Officer Commanding, Inspector M. Thompson, Sergeant Brown. Ensign, Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force, the bearers, Inspector Boone. Escort, Sergeant Weeks, Sergeant Harris. We also have on parade the Cadet Corps.
Number 5 Guard, Officer Commanding Inspector Francis Edwards S. And the Sergeant Burke. Correction, that's number 5 Guard. Number 6 Guard is the St. Kitts Nevis Cadet Corps Officer Commanding Warrant Officer Mills B. and the Sergeant Thompson D. As we look across the field, we are located in the south stand between south stands B and C. And this is the arrival of security chiefs. So orientation is south looking north up towards the airport and St. Peter's. The arrival of security chiefs taking place right now. Commissioner of Police James Sutton.
Patrick, as we pause for the arrival of the security chiefs, we must say good afternoon or good evening to all those listening via radio, internet, whatever is your means of communication. We want to wish you happy independence. We are aware that a number of our nationals are in tune to this broadcast or telecast. They look forward to this event annually.
Thank you, Peter. And now for the arrival of the acting commander of the St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force, Major Coyote Sutton. Normally, this parade is held in the morning at 0800 hours. Peter, this morning at around 0800 hours, the temperature was 87 degrees Fahrenheit, and with the humidity at 70%, it felt like 87 degrees, which raises the question as to how many would have remained erect at the end of the parade. But certainly it was very humid this morning, and so having the parade in the evening is a welcome respite for the armed and unarmed units.
Indeed, I'm sure there was a sigh of relief when the orders were published.
Parade has been brought to attention to pay respects to the security chiefs.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Cut.
Once again, you're witnessing the broadcast and stream of the ceremonial parade to commemorate the 42nd anniversary of the independence of St. Kitts and Nevis, 19th September 1983. This is the 42nd anniversary. And the theme for the independence, perpetual progress, a sustainable future in view. Independence 42. Submission winner was Denola Laplace of Sandy Point. As we now stand by for the arrival of the dignitaries, first will be the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew. And Peter, as we look at the drone view of the armed and unarmed units, we can see that there's a special contingent on parade from the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park, the West India Federation, we'll say some more about that this evening. This is the arrival of the Right Excellent and the Right Honorable Dr. Sir Kennedy Simmons. He gets a rousing round of applause from the appreciative audience here this evening at Warner Park.
Appears to be wearing his national heroes insignia or medal, as we call it locally.
It's the Right Honorable
by Lady Simmons.
That's correct. Thank you very much.
Patrick, we also have on parade a number of members from the fire service.
That's correct. The fire service, unarmed units from left to right is the fire and rescue service, and a contingent from His Majesty's prison. There's a contingent from the Customs and Excise Department, the St. Kitts Ports Authority, and the Girl Guides. We are going to miss the Pathfinders here this evening for religious purposes. Normally they have on parade numbers exceeding 60 to 70. We're now standing by for the arrival of the Honorable Prime Minister, arrival scheduled to occur at 17:55.
We still have another 5 minutes.
And so, Peter, we are looking at the arrival of several of the members of the diplomatic and consular community. They will be recognized publicly by the PA system. But from my vantage point, I can see the ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan, Taiwan was the first to recognize St. Kitts and Nevis in 1983 when we attained independence. Taiwan continues to be a significant contributor to our development as a small island, large ocean state. As the camera pans the armed units, this is the number 2 Guard, St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force Infantry. And then the Coast Guard, it's number 3 Guard. Number 4 Guard, Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force. Okay, so the cadets will be number 5 Guard. We're looking at some spectators in their national colors, and Peter, as you traveled around the country this week, citizens and residents were bedecked in the colors of the flag: green, red, gold, black, and 2 white stars, hope and liberty.
Institutions were open today to facilitate persons wishing to purchase the items of paraphernalia that symbolizes our independence. Seem to have been doing a brisk trade today, and it's become more fashionable. I dare say more paid for persons to be wearing their items. And so we have seen a number of new designs. A number of new designs have been
That's correct. Peter, at our left, parade right on the mound, there's a display of portraits of the national heroes. Let's see if we can pick that up. The Right Excellence of Robert Bradshaw, the Right Excellence Sir Paul Southwell, the Right Excellence Sir Joseph Nathaniel France, the Right Excellent Dr. Sir Simeon Daniel, and the Right Excellent and the Right Dr. the Right Excellent and the Right Honorable Sir Kennedy Alphonse Simmons. Those portraits were done by Vaughan Anslin. Arrival of the Attorney General. The Office of the Attorney General is the office that is, upon attaining government and swearing in of the government, is the second office to be sworn in.
Very critical position in our scheme of things, in terms of our democracy.
Attorney General Garth
Their
Wilkin
wife, Mrs. Wilkin.
and Mrs. Wilkin.
I note also the arrival of the National Security Advisor, who has quietly arrived and has taken his seat. Very critical position in today's world, National Security Advisor.
As expected for someone in the security apparatus, you see and not be seen.
Precisely. You know, the arrival of Minister Duggins, Samuel Duggins, and Mrs. Duggins, along with their son.
That's correct.
Four minutes to 6.
I have one more member of cabinet pulling up to the dignitaries area. And as we look across to the Calvin Wilkin Players Pavilion, there's a police outrider signaling the...
I think some maneuvering is taking place to make sure that some persons get here before the Prime Minister. But this is a timed event. We start at 6 o'clock. Arrival also of Honorable Marcia Henderson, Minister of Tourism, Etal, along with, she's accompanied by her son. And we see 3 other vehicles arriving. What a cool evening, Patrick. For those on parade must be so happy.
We'll get the temperature for you in a second.
We know the arrival of Honorable Conrad Maynard, Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, along with his wife and their 2 daughters. So we're almost there, Patrick. We're almost there.
Okay, mostly cloudy skies, a 10% chance of rain, temperature 85 degrees, with a slight breeze. Arrival of the Deputy Prime Minister and Dr. Jeffrey Hanley and Mrs. Hanley. There will be a special display by the 4th West India Federation drill display. That's the Defense Force in collaboration with the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park. Will present a small contingent of reenactors representing the 4th West Indian Federation, which served at the Brimstone Hill Fortress. We'll have more about that during the appropriate section.
Yes, the 4th West India Regiment, which was stationed at Brimstone Hill National Fortress. National Park Fortress, is it?
Fortress National Park.
Fortress National Park.
As we witnessed the arrival of the Honorable Prime Minister, and we will see the portraits of the national heroes right there. So compliment the producer for that, for making sure that we got a long enough glimpse of those portraits, and we'll get another opportunity when the Governor General arrives. For persons who are listening to us for the first time, St. Kitts and Nevis, located at 17 degrees north, 62 west, as of the last census in 2021, population just under 52,000. The arrival. The arrival of the Honorable Prime Minister, accompanied by his ADC, Lieutenant Connor. The Prime Minister will now ascend the saluting days.
Hey! General, salute! Present!
Gotten the signal, Patrick. The Governor General is on her way. Dame Marcella Bible.
And your watch is saying?
1803.
Okay. We are now witnessing the arrival of Her Excellency, Governor General.
Flags to be unfurled during the respects played shown to Her Excellency Dame Marcella.
Her Excellency is accompanied by her ADC Major Wilkin.
Royal salute! Present! Soleil! Olé!
Parade Commander Captain Kenish Garnett approaches Her Excellency. Let's listen in.
Pleasant good evening, Your Excellency. I invite you to inspect the parade in open order on this, the 42nd anniversary of independence, Your Excellency. Still! The number one guards! Remainers! Stand up! Hey!
Captain Kenish Garnett, Peter, is in fine voice this evening.
Yes, obviously has been in preparation for this day. And we remember some of those outstanding commanders over the years. Her Excellency accompanied by Prime Minister Drew. Number one guard has been told to stand fast. Remainder of the parade to stand at ease.
Inspection party led by Her Excellency.
So through the eyes of love.
She's accompanied by Acting Commander of the Defense Force Major Coyote Sutton, Prime Minister Drew, Commissioner of Police James Sutton,
Officer Commanding Number One Guard, female Lieutenant Ferdinand Z.
the band under the leadership of Lieutenant Charles is playing Through the Eyes of Love, composed by Marvin Hamlish and Carol Bayer Seja in 1978. And Peter, this is the first time in my memory that the number one guard, the St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force Infantry, is being commanded by a female soldier.
Yes, I think it is from my memory. Not that my memory is the memory, but from my memory, she is the first. And we need to
Inspection party pays respects to the St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force color party. Inspection of the number 2 guard of the St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force Infantry.
under the command of Second Lieutenant L. Cross.
The inspection is east on the front, west the center rank, and then east on the rear rack. The inspection of the number 2 guard is complete. The guard commander will thank Her Excellency for inspecting the guards.
Thank you for inspecting number 2 guard, Your Excellency. I have your permission to carry on.
And you heard that, he asked the
Permission to carry on.
An ever so subtle nod of approval, he carried on. Beautiful Isles of Somewhere. Words by Jesse Brown Pounds in 1896. Music by John Sylvester Fells in 1897. Number 3 Guard. St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force Coast Guard. Officer Commanding
Lieutenant Morris Fifey.
This time we should compliment Chameleon Media for the audio. It appears that all of the commanders are mic'd up so you can hear them very clearly in broadcast and streamland. The inspection of the number 3 guard is complete. Inspection party will now move to the number 4 guard. Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force.
Number 4 guard under the command of Inspector M. Thompson. This guard is a combination of females and males.
Yes, normally we have them split.
Yes.
The males will be number 4, the females will be number 5, but this is a combination. Once again, up the front rank. The inspection of the number 4 guard is complete. The inspection party will move past the Royal St. Kitts Nevis Police Force ensign. We now have the inspection of the St. Kitts Nevis Cadet Corps. Officer Command, Warrant Officer to Millsby. I felt to be my country. So Cecil Spring Rice, 1921.
I know there are a number of persons abroad listening this broadcast and look forward to the music. A number of music connoisseurs overseas, and they look forward to the music on this Independence Day.
And so we say good evening to Ian Hodge and his family.
I also want to say good evening to my brother Michael Marty. He pays close attention to the music on Independence Day.
He's the 3rd person on the commentary team. He's unfortunately unable to be here. He will be giving us the full spiel on the music. So we're trying our best, and I know he's marking us. Go easy on us as the inspection party.
There's another who I know has his pencil out marking, Grell Brown, somewhere abroad. I know you have your pencil and your pen and your paper. Go easy on us today.
Well, for the first time, the inspection party on an Independence Parade will inspect Reenactors of the 4th West India Federation. Let's get that correct. 4th West India Federation, which was stationed at the Brimstone Hill Fortress.
4th West India Regiment. Quite a bit of history.
You'll hear it during the narrative. So they are an armed unit, so we'll have all of the ranks being inspected.
They are using the weapons of that era, Patrick.
I can see you're anticipating the operation of those weapons.
I'm told they would be.
It will be special.
Fired.
I've heard it. It will be special. 4th West India Regiment. I got it right now? I got it right. As we move on to the unarmed units, fire and rescue service.
This is something special for persons in these units. The Independence Day Parade. In our time, we had the Queen's Parade, which was in June, if I recall correctly.
Correct.
And then we got to Statue Parade.
Correct. Fire and rescue has been busy this week. Attending to certain vehicular matters on the road. The band now strikes up Cupid. Sam Cooke, 1961. That's His Majesty's Prison completed. Next, unarmed unit. Customs and Excise Department, being commanded by a female officer this evening. First time I've seen that, Peter.
For the customs as well,
For the customs.
I think, yes. I'm not sure of her name.
We don't have the names for the commanders of the unarmed units. We'll try our best to get them later.
Yes, I hope someone can assist us so that we can have their names recorded in the history. I think it's a Nevis. Someone listening from the Independence Committee, please. We need those names.
We now have the St. Kitts Ports Authority.
I think I see Mills, formerly of the Defense Force.
That's correct.
I know he's doing quite a bit of work with the Sea Cadets, and that is to be encouraged.
And now finally the Girl Guides and Growlies.
I wish to encourage the adults that are taking interest in our young people's development. And so those on parade today, we salute you. We recognize you for the efforts that you make in shaping the young people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Parade second in command, Captain Livingston Genolet, brought the parade to attention as the inspection party makes its way back to the saluting base. Let's listen in to Captain Garnett.
see if the voice is holding.
Thank you for inspecting the parade, Your Excellency. I humbly request your permission the parade to march past in slow and quick time, Your Excellency.
Request made. Granted. Parade will march past in slow and quick time. Form 2 ranks.
From 3 ranks.
Parade would now be dressed by the Parade Sergeant Major Warrant Officer Class 2, Canes N. Let's listen in for both amplitude and octave.
Something we look forward to.
Created quite a stir with the spectators. Parade Sergeant Major was also mic'd up, so we were getting some echoes. And to the strains of Scipio. Slow march of the Grenadier Guards Infantry Regiment, British Army. The origin is George Frederick Handel's opera, The Mercy of Scipio. Scipio Africanus was a well-known Roman centurion who defeated Hannibal of Carthage, if you remember your ancient history. As we look at the armed units, only for the slow time.
Memories, Patrick, being on parade. And I recall, and I want to put into the record, Lieutenant Scott Hendricks, who was responsible for a lot of what we see today in terms of the standard of drill discipline and discipline. Lieutenant Scott Hendricks. Number 1 guard. Patrick, we normally try to see which guard was number 1 today. And I think it's going to be close.
As number 1 guard approaches the saluting days, listening for the eyes right, we'll keep our cameras listening. We'll keep the camera at the saluting days and look at the lines. And already the spectators are up in the applause as the band moves into by land and sea. This is the rental slow march of the St. Kitts Nevis Regiment. Kenneth Alford, 1941.
Number 1 guard getting some applause.
Number 2 guard is at the eyes right.
Color party paying compliments.
Number 3 guard, this is the Coast Guard. And Peter. The Coast Guard is looking snappy. Is it the white uniform?
Could be the white as well as smaller numbers.
And that's the police force now.
Number 4 guard.
Number 4 guard. As the applause rings out for the spectators. Well, number 5 guard, the Cadet Corps. And there are 2 commentators holding their breath.
I'm so happy to see them on parade today.
Made up of high school students, male and female.
We have at least 21 on parade.
All right, who had the straightest lines on the slow march? I go for the Coast Guard. I think you're going for the number 1 guard of the infantry. I can feel it.
No, I was going for police.
Going for the police, okay. The camera is now focused on the band. The band is now counter-marching, and they will maneuver in front of the number 1 guard and get ready for the quick time.
Getting good sounds from the band, Patrick. Despite some members having to the duties. Good compliment.
And you also noticed that the spectators in South Stand B and A are also rising on applause or appreciation for the drills this evening.
Yes. My heart is full. I'm just happy to see the cadets back on parade and doing relatively well.
And now we await one of the favorite parts of the parade in terms of the spectators, the change from the slow to the quick time. Listen in.
With the double beat of the bass drum.
We have our cameras now focused on the drum major. He took a quick peep at the monitor, the jumbotron. Here we go.
Great applause, Patrick.
And now to the strains of Sons of the Brave. This is the regimental quick march of the St. Kitts Nevis Regiment, Thomas Bidgood, 1918. And now we get a second opportunity to assess the drill, the lines, the heels into the ground, armed units and unarmed units. Okay, Peter, here we go. Number one guard. Snappy, snappy. Well done, number one guard. Well done. Number two guard. Well done, number two. Well done, number two. Number three guard. Number three guard. Peter. Coast Guard. Oh my goodness. Number four, the police. Snappy, snappy. Number five, Cadet Corps. Oh, the armed units, this competition was tight in the quick time. Snappy, cadets.
Yes, well done.
And now the 4th West India Regiment. Snappy.
Very well done.
Very well done. Fire and rescue. Police service. Customs always put on a spectacular drill display.
Getting some good response. Customs.
Tops. Ports Authority, I must tell you, Peter, they have improved
Yes, and
over the years. This is good.
arms, shoulder height.
And the Girl Guides and Brownies. Youngsters, they're 5, 6 years old and up.
Some of those brownies look like they're 4 and 3. Congratulations to them.
And you can hear the parents shouting for their children.
Yep.
Family members shouting for their family members in the respective armed units, unarmed units. This is the activity march composed by Harold Bennett. The pseudonym is Henry Fillmore, 1923. Let's focus on the band. This is the
Drum Major Sergeant Walter C. Is this his first occasion, Patrick? Drum Major.
yes.
Sergeant Walter C. Is this his first?
No. He's been on parade.
Rambunctious round of applause, Patrick, for the march past. Crowd very appreciative.
Parade has been ordered to reform 3 ranks. We now have an inward dress. Parade Sergeant Major will move to position between number 3 and number 4 and give his dressing orders.
So he will dress the number 1, 2, and 3 guards. Then he will turn about and dress the number 4 and number 5 guard.
Warrant Officer Keynes N. Let's listen in.
He has dressed the right half, he's now dressing the left half.
It's a good octave.
Patrick, we now have the display by the 4th West India Regiment. And, we have been fortunate to be provided with some information.
Your Excellency,
West Indian Regiment.
Dame Marcella Liebert, Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force, in collaboration with the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park Society, presents a small contingent of reenactors representing the 4th West India Regiment, which served at the Brimstone Hill Fortress. Formed in 1795, the 4th West India Regiment was comprised of enslaved African men serving as part of the British Army, being promised their freedom for military service. Many of its ranks were recruited from plantations on St. Kitts, and it was one of 12 such regiments of African soldiers established by the British to help defend their colonies in the Caribbean and abroad. The 1st Battalion of the regiment was stationed at the Brimstone Hill Fortress in 1798. The regiment was disbanded and later reformed in 1862 and was stationed on St. Kitts until 1869, when it was moved to Sierra Leone, where it was disbanded in 1895. We are now about to be transported back over 200 years to the late 1790s and early 1800s, when soldiers of the 4th West India Regiment were garrisoned at the Brimstone Hill Fortress. The reenactors are armed with the most popular weapon of the period, called the British Land Pattern Flintlock musket, which was affectionately nicknamed the Brown Bess. They will perform drills of the period, and as part of their display, will fire their replica flintlock muskets in the traditional way, the sound of which I can assure you is unforgettable. Be assured, however, that the muskets contain no live ammunition or other projectile. To complete the routine, an actual small field cannon will be fired as a final salute. And for that, you can direct your attention to the right-hand side of the big screen to your left. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present the 4th West India Regiment of the Brimstone Hill Fortress, the Gibraltar of the West Indies.
Well done, and an appreciative round of applause from the spectators here this evening. The narrator, Percival Hanley.
Former cadet.
Former cadet, there you go.
Served with us. Served with us, and I think he got to the rank of sergeant.
That is correct.
We now see the reenactors coming on.
Percy works with the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park. Office located at Taylor's Range. Brimstone Hill is a must-see on any visit to St. Kitts and Nevis, and is regularly visited by residents. Here we go.
Side drum being used.
Fix your bayonet.
Order given to fix bayonets.
West Indian Regiment, freeze and arms.
For those listening,
Shoulder arms.
the regiment presented arms. They have now shouldered arms.
Right about face. To the front. Arms.
Freedom in return for military service.
West Indian Regiment to the march. To the right. Wheel.
This is the right wheel. They're now in line.
To the left, head. To the left, head.
About wheel, Patrick, and not about turn. Those days. About wheel. That's the first time I'm seeing this one. And it's a trudge, almost like a short step rather than pace, as is customary now. So one of drudgery,
To the right, head.
But this is historic for a lot of the younger persons. Never knew that this existed, that this took place at Brimstone Hill. You fought for your freedom through the regiment.
Single back, from double back, to the left. March!
They have now formed one single file from the two ranks.
Charge your bayonets!
That's the charge of the bayonet, Patrick.
Out! 1, 2,
It's the fire.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shoulder arm. Remove your bayonet. Shoulder fire up.
In order to remove bayonets, they've done so.
And load.
They are now
A murmur
charging
goes
their-
up. A
their
murmur
weapons.
goes up. This is the British land pattern flintlock musket, aka Brown Bess. It's the Warner Park Cricket Stadium have been dimmed.
Up. Going.
Weapons being charged. There seems to have been a two-step process.
Up. Make ready. Present. Fire! Reload.
You know, with the lights off at the cricket stadium, but the jumbotron is on.
Yes.
So you can see the charging of the musket. We were sure that there's no live ammunition or projectile.
Make ready. Reason. Fire.
Certainly packs a punch, Peter.
Yes. In the narrative, it did say that there was a distinctive sound. Interesting how
This pay tribute to persons like D. Lloyd Matheson and members of the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park Society.
Ken Martin must be remembered.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention to the to the right-hand side of the screen on your left.
And now the final stanza.
To project 2. Two cannons fired.
That's a cannon.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 4th West India Regiment of the Brimstone Hill Fortress.
Let's give them a round of applause. The request was not needed. The persons in attendance. Celebration of our history. And those of us who fought so hard in the earlier years, it makes it possible for us today to celebrate 42 years of independence. On those shoulders we stand. Men and women.
Soldier. Fire. To the poise. Order. Fire. To the right. Face. Still. Fire. Time.
Remember the light standing back on. Remember the light standing back on. Remember the light.
Trail arms.
Trailing.
No drone, no drone, no drone.
Yes, they deserve a big round of applause. The 4th West India Regiment of the Brimstone Hill Fortress.
Peter, that should get some more traffic to Brimstone Hill from tomorrow.
Yes, but it also should bring some more consciousness to our people in terms of what we endured.
And now, the raising of the national flag.
Using, I think it's 2 drones.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's also a small but important announcement. The guts in Basseterre are running, and so therefore when you are finished with the parade, those who are driving, please direct your traffic from here up Victoria Road and across the bypass rather than through Basseterre. Thank you.
We see our national flag being flown with the use of 2
drones.
drones.
Yeah, 2 drones.
Flag is on the northern side. That is the
Media Center.
media center.
Falls Shelter Media Center. Well done.
Yes, well done, well done, well done. It's always a surprise, Patrick. Last time I was here, it was the drones dispute.
Review order.
Quick march!
The 15 pace is right.
Wait! Will remove headdress! Remove headdress!
Females to keep the headdress on, but will carry out
For the nation! Hip, hip, hip!
the actions.
Hip, hip, hip! Hip, hip, hip! Replace headdress!
At this stage, you hold your breath because no weapon should. No weapon must.
Red, shoot! Right! Royal salute! Resist! Right! Thank you for gracing us with your presence, Your Excellency. This concludes the parade ceremony.
The departure compliments to Her Excellency, the Governor General, Dame Marcella Liebert.
Almost an hour, Patrick. Well, probably 50 minutes. And what was so reflective was that a lot of the persons viewing the parade stood for the national anthem at the end. And this shows
the departure of our dignitaries, beginning with Your Excellency Dame Marcella Liebert, GC MG Governor General of the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis.
Sounds a familiar voice, Jazzy.
Governor General's ADC is Major Wilkin.
Followed by the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis, and Mrs. Prince Drew.
Prime Minister paying his respects to members of Cabinet, National Hero, the Right Excellent, the Right Honorable Sir Kennedy Simmons and Lady Simmons, and to members of the Diplomatic Corps, Diplomatic and Consular. As we witness the departure of the Honorable Prime Minister momentarily, he'll be accompanied by his ADC, Lieutenant Connor. Sorry, the departure of the Honorable Prime Minister and Mrs. Brimstone. They'll be accompanied by ADC, Lieutenant Connor, Gerald Connor. Reflecting on the parade this evening, I asked myself the question,
I think it was a good parade.
I second that motion.
There wasn't anything that we can look to that did not go well. Prime Minister taking some time to greet persons in the what I may call the officialdom.
Dignitaries.
Dignitaries. Okay.
If you give him the opportunity, he would greet all 5,000 people in Wonder Park this evening.
Patrick.
He must be very proud of the turnout this evening. Punctuated by the drill display by the 4th West India Regiment,
yes.
Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park. And the raising of a giant-size national flag.
Yes, that was. I kept wondering, what were the two drones being used for, and then we saw this display. Yes.
And the flag was raised in front of the C.A. Paul Southwell Media
Center. Quite fitting.
And it says Warner Park, home of the SKN Patriots. And we have the green color of the buildings. And the green of the ground.
The Honorable Lanine Blanchett, Speaker of the National Assembly.
Patrick, in September, as we celebrate our 42nd anniversary, Global Citizen Solutions selected St. Kitts and Nevis as the best
Mr. Coyote Sutton, Acting Commander of the St. Christopher and Nevis Defense Force.
It was followed up by an announcement by Travel Leisure magazine. I felt proud as a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis that our country, the smallest independent nation in the Western Hemisphere, to be named the best place to retire in the Caribbean. And I think they were approaching in the world.
Mr. James Sutton, Commissioner of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force and other members of the High Command.
Issues that were taken into consideration would have been climate, local taxes, cost of living, safety, access to health care, community, and our citizenship by investment. The fact that it was 40 years was also considered. Here's the next 20 years. It's to see what we can do as citizens to make St. Kitts and Nevis the best place to live in the world. Not just to to retire, but the best place in the world to live. And I think it rests with us.
The
as
Honorable
citizens of
Dr.
St. Kitts.
Jeffrey Hanley,
and
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister
People
of
like you and
Education,
me, Patrick.
Youth Empowerment, Housing and Human Settlement, Ecclesiastical and Faith-Based Affairs, Social Development, Gender Affairs, Aging and Disabilities, and Mrs. Hanley.
It is a challenge because independence is a journey, self-reliance a journey.
I
There
wanted
are
to
always adjustments to be made.
The Right Honorable
I think a lot
Dr.
of what we have
Denzel
done
Llewellyn Douglas,
is due to
Senior Minister and Minister of Foreign
due to
Affairs,
our
International
comprehensive
Trade,
system of education, free
Industry,
education.
Commerce and Consumer Affairs, Economic Development and Investment, and former Prime Minister. The Honorable Garth Wilkin, Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, and Mrs. Wilkin.
Patrick, a lot of what we have achieved is due to our free, comprehensive system of education, which started in 1967. And I want to go back to the early pioneers because it was an experiment. And had it failed, we would not have been where we are today. So persons like Eustace Esdale at the Basseterre High School, one of the first principals of that school.
And we also had the Sandy Point High School, now the Charles E.
Mills Secondary School.
It was the first secondary school established in the rural area in the Commonwealth. And I'm getting a call from our good friend
The
Ian
Honorable
Quealy.
Conwys
I'll have to call you
Maynard,
back.
Minister of Public Infrastructure and Utilities,
And
Transport, Information, Communication and Technology and Post, and Mrs. Maynard.
The Honorable Conwys Maynard is departing in an electricity, an EV, electricity-powered vehicle.
Yes, so Patrick, I think the education system that we have been fortunate to have in St. Kitts and Nevis, free education, had the experiment failed in
The
early
Honorable
days,
Samuel Duggins,
we wouldn't have been here.
Minister
I want
of
to recognize teachers
Agriculture,
like
Fisheries
Mrs.
and
Hobson,
Marine Resources,
Miss Katson,
Cooperatives, Entrepreneurship and Creative
Sydney
Economy,
Osborne.
and
Those were some of
Mrs.
the teachers at the
Duggins.
time. Edwin Glassford.
That's teachers at the Basseterre High.
At the Basseterre High, who championed the experiment and made sure it worked, because had it failed from the early years, we wouldn't have been here. And so it was important that it succeeded in the early years. And so we must recognize those who championed the cause
The
of
Honorable
education.
Marshall
at that early
Henderson, Minister of Tourism, Labour, Civil Aviation and
we will get
Urban
into trouble
Development.
naming all of the stalwarts of comprehensive education, but coming to mind is Washington Archibald. Washington Archibald spared no effort.
High on the list.
Spared no effort to ensure that those who had a challenge here and there with English and history, he put in the time and made sure that they got the requisite credentials. Also,
Honorable Joel Clark, Minister of Sustainable Development, Environment, Climate Action and Constituency Empowerment.
We go back
if you move forward to some of the late recent appointments, like Leonie James preschool at the top of Victoria Road, and the Vanta Walters preschool in industrial site. And if you look at the profile of the national heroes, 3 of them
the Right
pupil
Excellent
teachers.
and Right Honorable Dr. Sir Kennedy Simmons, National Hero and
We also
former Prime
need to
Minister
recognize
and Lady
William
Simmons.
William Ferdinand.
So the experiment, as you called it, but it was a, if you would take this point, a well thought through policy.
Yes, we have to recognize Fitzroy Grant, who was the architect and was the one who was Minister of Education at the time. And
He was ably assisted by Charles E. Mills, who was his permanent secretary.
Correct.
Also, Donald Lloyd Matheson, who was
His Excellency
education
David
officer
Rivero
in the area
Perez,
of
Ambassador
primary schools
of the Republic
and also
of Cuba
a founding
and
member of the Cadet
spouse.
Corps.
Yes, I think he was also responsible for a lot that was done in education. He was able to harness resources in England so that I think 1 or 2 of the schools were built. His record is also outstanding. Lloyd Matheson.
So in St. Kitts and Nevis, there is a primary school.
His Excellency Edward Ling Wan Tao, Ambassador of the Republic of China,
Within 5
Taiwan.
minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of every community in this country.
I guess that had to have been a strategy to make education accessible to the people. Yes?
And so in a population of just under 52,000, counting 5 public high schools in St. Kitts.
His Excellency
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 6 public high schools in St. Kitts and 2 in Nevis, 8 in the Federation.
Ambassador of the Republic of Argentina.
And we have to look at the expansion, because I remember when I was leaving high school in 1970-something, there were not more than 50 students at A level. That is 6A and 6B.
I can vouch for that. I could not
Today, at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, we
Her
have close to 1,000
Excellency
students at the same level.
Bagdagul Ormanjou, Ambassador of the Republic of Turkey.
And if you add the numbers at the Nevis 6th form, we're probably at 1,500.
Could be. 1,300 maybe.
1,300 plus those at the. Well, we now have the merging of the AVEC Project Strong into the Institute of Technology.
And now,
Her Excellency
CFBC
Brenda
is free.
Wells, High Commissioner
Clarence
of
Fitzroy Bryan
Canada.
College, attendance is free. So we now have free primary schools, secondary school, and now tertiary education. That's free in St. Kitts and Nevis.
So that is an investment in human capital development. And as a small population, there was no other strategy for development than to invest in your human
His
capital.
Excellency
we're
Raul
seeing
Florentin Antola,
departure of
Ambassador
number
of
of the
and
dignitaries.
Permanent Representative
And
of
Patrick
Paraguay to the
Paraguay.
OAS.
Representative from Paraguay, representing the OAS.
No, he's also accredited to
The OAS. Okay.
But we have quite a representation here at the 42nd anniversary of independence. Paraguay, Canada, Taiwan, Turkey.
And
Ms.
though we have
Karen
our
Sullivan,
problems,
Charge d'Affaires,
our people have done
Embassy
well
of the United States of
on the
America
education they've received.
and delegation.
USA is here.
USA represented.
It's important to take some time to acknowledge our allies.
Ms. Fanny Stinks, Charge d'Affaires of the European Union.
EU is here.
Yes.
A small island, large ocean state requires inputs from development partners, some of whom benefited from the blood, sweat, and tears, and continue to do so, of our people.
Yes, Patrick.
Mr. Areta Nake, Deputy
Cannot
Head
be
of Mission of the Embassy of Japan.
Japan is here.
And our nation, the smallest nation in the world.
The Western Hemisphere.
Western Hemisphere.
Yeah, seventh smallest in the world.
We have to balance, all of these forces in the world. How do you carve out an existence for our people amongst all of this?
Mr. Spencer Isaac, Commissioner of Corrections.
The countries mentioned took the time to be represented here, the opportunity to be represented here at our 42nd Independence Parade and other ceremonies. And that speaks volumes about the regard, the high regard for St. Kitts and Nevis in the world.
Yes, and we appreciate their support. And we will need their support in the future as the world evolves and different conflicts in the world that emerges and have to be resolved. There are numerous conflicts now that are plaguing or facing the world. And new challenges, the new opportunities in AI, for example, COVID-19 allowed us to get the privilege of Zoom, being able to communicate with persons anywhere in the world. Now it's AI, my brother. And I was supposed to do a search for you.
Well, I can tell you as a healthcare professional, the digital technologies are now...
National Security Advisor Lionel Rawlins.
Digital technologies are now inherent in the DNA of everything we do in healthcare, including AI.
Last year when you were here, Patrick, our crime situation was at a different level. We have seen a considerable reduction in the number of murders, and we pray that those who are responsible for bringing this under control, that God would give them the strength, guidance, and the knowledge and the wisdom to continue. And the parents and the children, that we will do more.
Colors are now matching.
General, salute! Reserve! Out!
Go party! By the center! Quick march!
Color party now marching off. Next will be the officers.
Just had the matching off of the colors and ensigns. Unfixing of the bayonets, and then we have the falling out of the officers.
Red
Parade Commander Kenish Garnett requested Parade Second in Command Captain Livingston Genolet to take over. Let's look at the compliments.
Captain. So I see from the regiment, Captain Livingston Genolet. It's Captain Kenish Garnett, the Coast Guard. Marches off.
Okay, sir. Follow the officers!
Guard commanders falling out, and each guard will now be commanded by their sergeants. Also falling out are the officers leading the fire and rescue contingent from Her Majesty's Prison, the contingent from Customs and Excise, and the contingent from the Ports Authority.
We need to remember that Lieutenant Z. Ferdinand, female, first officer to command the guard, SKN infantry.
Command given for the Parade Sergeant Major. Warrant Officer Class 2 Canes N. To fall it. And Peter there, we always do an assessment of the Sergeant Majors because of the rich history of Sergeant Majors in this country.
Well, the Sergeant Major runs the operations. That's the man.
Carry on! Sergeant Major!
Sergeant Major ordered to carry on. Parade Second in Command generally, and the officers depart parade ground.
Hey! Shoulder! To the right and on the foot! Right!
You have been witnessing coverage of the ceremonial parade to commemorate the 42nd anniversary of the independence of St. Kitts and Nevis, 19 September 2025. On parade this evening, number 1 Guard Defense Force Infantry, number 2 Guard Defense Force Infantry, number 3 Guard the Coast Guard, number 4 Guard the Police Force, number 5 Guard the Cadet Corps. We also had a contingent from the 4th West India Regiment, Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park, Fire and Rescue, officers of His Majesty's Prison, Customs and Excise Department, St. Kitts Ports Authority, and the Girl Guides and Brownies.
We also have to recognize the Red Cross. They were on duty today. Very little to do.
As expected. And also recognize the band. Director of Music, Lieutenant Sylvester G. Charles and Drum Major Walter C. This band has quite a number of high school students, and so we continue to support the school's music program. Peter, your final thoughts?
Glad to be here and witness 42nd Independence Parade. Happy that those in authority took the decision to have the parade in the evening. And I witnessed the 4th West India Regiment on parade. And I think this would stir some of the conscience of our younger population and get them to understand the history of our people. And so I say, as we celebrate the best place in the Caribbean to retire, I challenge us to be the best place in the world to live in the next 20 years.
Thank you very much, Peter Jenkins. My name is Patrick Martin. Happy to work
We
with
have a pair of glasses here
Chameleon Media,
under
who
the tent.
responsible
And
for producing the
Please
broadcast
note,
and streaming
national
of the
drill
coverage.
competition will be held next
Chameleon
Friday,
Media
26 September,
in collaboration
at 5
with
in the
your
afternoon on the Bell
media
Road.
partners. You can watch this again on YouTube later.
Patrick, we forgot that the drill competition as part of the celebration of our independence will be next Friday on the Bay Road at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The drill competition, which forms part of the independence celebrations, will be on the Bay Road next Friday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Now, don't go away. I think Chameleon Media is going to provide us with some drone footage. I'm getting the nod and the affirmative of the armed units and unarmed units as they exit Warner Park and turn wheel left down Victoria Road. We understand that the guts are running because there has been some rain up in the hills. So we will see if they make a right turn
There's
onto
also a
Cairn.
key fob. Someone left a key fob as well.
We'll see if they take a right turn onto Keon Street to head up to Camp Springfield. But all right, so the drone camera is already up. Let's see if we can go over to Victoria Road, gentlemen. This is Lozak.
I think
you're on Victoria
Patrick,
Road already? That's right.
The parade is scheduled to go turn left on Keon Street and to be at the police headquarters. For a few minutes before they head to Camp Springfield.
All right, so the armed units and unarmed units are now exiting Warner Park and now turning left down Victoria Road. And those of you watching from vantage points overseas, you know your bearings. You're from St. Kitts and Nevis. You know your bearings. That's the old girls' school. Now part of the Beach Allen Primary School. And as usual, the residents and citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis are lining the streets to get another glimpse of the armed units and unarmed units. Okay. And these drone pictures are spectacular. Once again, a big shout out to Chameleon Media, produce, broadcast, and stream this coverage. promise that next time they will have a microphone on the drone so you can pick up the music. Okay, he's making the adjustment. The producer is making the adjustment to see if he can pick up sound of the band now. Okay, so you can hear it, but I can't hear it because one of the assistants. Okay, thank you. Just passed point school. That's the Anglican churchyard, right? Okay, so making a left, Peter. As you said, making a left.
first class, world class. And we have this here in St. Nevis. So many other world class services that we provide. And sometimes we take these things for granted, but our people are progressing, making strides in the world. So St. Nevis is the place to be.
Well, this is a demonstration that we are on the forefront of digital technologies. For example, there's a St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Association,
which are doing excellent, which is doing excellent work, in motivating our young people.
Connectivity. There's a fiber optic network connecting health facilities.
I'm sure each person is
You are correct. We have a high penetration of cellular and internet.
Use for
well, let's turn your whole people. Sure, yes, like all tools. There's good, there's some bad, and there's some downright ugly. You have to have all three tools. Part of human existence. But there's more good. And a small country like ours, a small population like ours, we have to use digital technology.
Yes, I wanted to do a Google search of search.
Well, I can tell you that it was being advertised on YouTube since about early this morning. So. Right, so
I was saying, Patrick, that because of our education, people continue to stand and work all over the world. They also to focus on this abroad.
this is downtown Basseterre. Yeah, continue talking about Melissa Bryant. I know her quite well.
Yeah, I was saying that from one street from where I was born, Tibu Avenue, I think she's from Fines Avenue. Now serving at a world-class institution.
Yes, we're getting a signal from our producer that we're going to break. Yes. Okay, so. Okay, so.
We have to alert ourselves that the guts
So we're not having the march up to Springfield camp because the gut is running, and we will.
So I guess persons would have to divert to over the bridge.
Sorry, I didn't have my
Over the bridge. Either the bridge in the north or the bridge in the south. The one over the barrel, or the bridge at College House. And those coming from the north line will go across F.D. Williams Highway so that you avoid having to come into town. I guess it will be temporary, but in the meantime, you need to take caution.
And those bridges were constructed because of a tragedy. It was the Great Flood. It was 1880s when the skies opened up, and
I think it was 72 inches of rain that fell.
Basseterre was inundated with water, and there's quite a substantial loss of life. Let us look at the